So now that we've scared the what out of parents who are in fatherless homes, right? Either they've gotten a divorce or the dad's taken off, or maybe you're a mom who's made the dad not have contact, bitter. The guy, you didn't like him, you kept him out, you got a good child arrangement, child custody arrangement, thinking that was best. Or even just like two of my closest friends are in a lesbian couple. They say they're bi, but they're in a lesbian marriage. Anyway, for the record, there's no dad around and they just had a boy. They have 3 girls. They just had a boy, but they have a good plan for male role models in their children's lives, including their boy. But what is the answer to those situations?
A lot of levels. The first level, many dads do become deadbeats or withdraw after when they feel like they're only wanted for their wallet and they're only wanted for their money. And so, if you're a mom and you really want to have the dad back in your life, but he seems to not take much interest, or he's getting involved with another woman and their children, and he feels more needed by that other family than he does by you and your children. One of the first thing you can do is to study the differences between dad-style parenting and mom-style parenting, and point and tell him that you value his roughhousing, but now you understand why roughhousing leads to empathy, the exact opposite of what you think roughhousing leads to. And I'll explain why if we talk about that in a little while. Why teasing has certain benefits, why taking certain risks up to a certain point increases children's IQ, increases children's ability to assess risks. In other words, excuse me, find out what dads tend to do that leads children to do so much better with dads. Let the man that has dropped out of your children's life, let him know that you now understand why he is needed, and you want to support that as long as he's also listening to you and your input. And so that's the number one way to get the most important person in your children's life, aside from you, back into your children's life, which is the biological dad. The stepfather can be a very important substitute role model, but is almost never as important as the biological dad and the biological mom, because eventually the children look in the mirror and they see whatever they hear about the biological father or mother, they worry or think that might be them in the future. They see that both parents' body language, eyes, eye color, hair, whatever, and they know that whatever you say about the other parent is also that's being said about them. And so, and both children are looking always for the input of both parents, because it's also part of who they are. And so that's the number one way. But if the dad has died, or he's in prison for too long to come out to be with the children, or for some other reason truly is a deadbeat, and won't come back under even those circumstances, then there's a lot of things you can do. One is, if you're at all faith-based oriented, get your child involved in a faith-based community in which the minister, priest, rabbi, or imam forms groups of boys your son's age, and make sure that they're in confidential groups where they talk about their feelings or their fears, so that almost all boys growing up and girls as well feel like they have special insecurities, but boys in particular have almost no permission to talk about those insecurities. And when every boy in a confidential group of your son's age is talking about his insecurities, it makes each boy in the group realize that those insecurities are not just them, they're everyone's insecurities. And that makes them feel a lot more internally secure. That's one example. Another is get your children involved in the liberal arts of sports. When I say the liberal arts of sports, what I mean is get them involved in team sports, where they learn how to get good advice from a coach and how to work together with other people to win. Get them involved in one of the most neglected forms of sports in recent history, which is pickup team sports. Pickup team sports is wonderful preparation to be an entrepreneur because you're creating something from nothing. You're creating your own, say on a basketball court, you're saying, do I play half court or full court? Do I pass to this person or do I pass or not pass to that person? Because every time that person asks me to pass to him, he just wants to hog the ball for himself. So you're learning all those skills as to how to put a team together, how to work, how to select and unselect from various people that you work with. And then also individual sports like tennis or gymnastics where there's a team, but the primary focus is on your developing your own discipline and your own skill sets. And if you're a mom and you go out to the games, especially the organized sports games, and make contact with the coach, particularly if it's a male coach, and explain to the male coach that the boy doesn't have the biological father around. And if he, the coach, can take your son aside occasionally and point out valid things that your son is doing well to help your son feel special, and also things that your son is not doing as well as he could be doing to make your son have an inspiration to do those things better, that's a helpful role model to bring into your son's life. Third, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. Almost every parent I know cares that their children have character, good character, more than almost anything else. And Cub Scouts, if your child attends Cub Scouts, your son attends Cub Scouts for 2 years or more consistently, studies show that those children develop much more positive personality characteristics of integrity, of loyalty, of honesty than they do without the Cub Scouts. Boy Scouts are one of the most amazing constructs of masculinity. Boys do very much better when they have incentives and when they get little badges to say I did it, and then but the badges, the merit badges in Boy Scouts not only are merit badges for that particular activity, but they usually put your son in contact with a male mentor who is good at that activity. And so you're giving your son male mentor after male mentor and a concrete goal of being able to say, I did this activity well. And then possible bigger goals like becoming an Eagle Scout or a Star Scout, to say that I have put together not just one specialty but multiple specialties. And in the process, your son is able to discover what am I good at, what do I like, and what's the combination of what I like and good at. I was blessed to be good at math, but I didn't like math, and so I got into something that wasn't math oriented.
Oh, this is so fascinating, and it's so heartening to know there are avenues where you can create a male role model types in your son's life, even if you're in the unfortunate position of not having a biological dad in the house, or you've just chosen not to. One thing you said reminded me of a story that's in the news this week, and we have the video, the importance of sports and the lessons that are learned out on the sports field. This made national news. It was a Little League game, happened on Tuesday, between a team from Pearland, Texas, and a team from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, here's what you're going to see in 1 second. The Texas East pitcher is named Caden Shelton, and Caden had a pitch get away from him, and it struck Tulsa's Isaiah Jarvis in the head. Isaiah falls to the ground, fortunately hit his helmet, so he was okay. And then the pitcher, Caden, got very upset that he had hurt, inadvertently, this other kid, this batter, and he started crying on the mound. And here you see the kid from Tulsa who got hit walk over to the pitcher's mound. He hugs the pitcher. Oh my God, it's like I want to cry. He's hugging him, making the pitcher feel better. And he says, "Hey, you're doing just great. You're doing great." And the coach comes out, the other boys come out. I'm like getting misty-eyed just looking at this example of how amazing it was. And the Texas East, the pitchers team, wound up winning the game 9-4. They've qualified for the Little League World Series. And the boy who threw the pitch later gave an interview saying he could hardly breathe out there. He was so upset about hurting the batter. And when the little kid told him, "Look, you got this. You got this. Just take deep breaths," he was saying to him, "and just think happy thoughts." I think, my God, what every parent would want, right? for their kids to experience on the ball field. And if I were the parent of the little boy who did the hugging, the one, Isaiah Jarvis, I would be like, I'm not doing a college application essay. I'm just going to submit this videotape so you know what kind of a person I am. So everyone's starting to go back to school right now, right? And over the next few weeks, you have an opportunity right now to do good by helping feed children who are facing hunger and food insecurity. Our partner, Good Ranchers, is on a mission to donate 100,000 high-quality meals to young children who often go unfed or are malnourished from poor access to nutritious food. You can join this campaign by ordering a box of 100% American meat. Every order contributes meals to this cause and makes a huge difference in the lives of these children. Why wouldn't you do it, right? You get an amazing meal for your family and you help children who are hurting in the process. Good Ranchers is an award-winning food delivery service that brings 100% American meat and seafood to your door. They source the best of American farms so that you can get the highest quality food possible and trust what you're feeding your family every time. Go to goodranchers.com/Megyn to join the movement today. You will get $30 off your order, you'll get free shipping, and you will donate food to kids in need. Giving back never felt or tasted so good. Let's help them hit and pass their goal of 100,000 meals donated. Go to goodranchers.com/Megyn or use that code Megyn at checkout. Change the future one meal at a time with Good Ranchers. goodranchers.com/Megyn. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.